Ontario MPP Sol Mamakwa wants Ontario to make the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation a paid provincial holiday. And he joins us live now with more on the proposal. MPP Mamakwa, it's good to have you today. Thanks for taking the time.
Miigwech, thank you for having me.
So let's just start. Why do you think, what is the significance of having this be a provincially paid holiday?
You know, it's always First Nations. It's always us trying to reconcile and taking the day off to be able to recognize, acknowledge Orange Shirt Day, and it's important for all Ontarians to be able to acknowledge that, and know the truth, but also what reconciliation is. And it's important that Ontarians should have a day off to reflect, a day off to learn about the real history of Indian residential school. You know, when we say holiday, holiday is not the right word. It is a day of reflection. It's a day of mourning. It's a day of learning, and it needs to be recognized by the province.
Yeah, a day of remembrance and learning, as you say. I was struck by one woman at Nathan Phillips Square this morning who said that she wished more people had come out for that sunrise ceremony. Is that kind of what you would be hoping for more people to actually participate in some of the events that the city is holding and to learn about what's happened in our country's history?
Yes, I think from the get-go, I know we're the ones that are trying to reconcile. And we're always the ones, having to learn about about what the day means. Indian residential schools, that day should be a day of reflection for Indian residential schools, and we need to have more people out and acknowledging these days. And I just came from Manitoba just yesterday. I know they were preparing. They have it's a stat holiday in Manitoba. It was, the promotion, the events that they're holding within the province of Manitoba was very different. And I think, we need to start together, walk together in this path of reconciliation, this path of learning the history. And we have to do that together. And I think that's what Ontarians are good like that. And we need to be able to walk together in that path of reconciliation.
And you being, a residential school survivor yourself when you were a child, do you feel as though we're making good progress in reconciliation? Obviously it's not a quick process, but do you feel that we're making good progress, or do you think we should be taking some steps quicker?
To get to where we are today took generations. It's going to take some time to get out of that, where we are a good society, we're a good very good Ontario, a very good Canada, but it's going to take some time. But we need to start somewhere, and I think there's steps that could be taken. The steps are very slow, and but I think we need to start acknowledging the that 94 calls to action, and this is one of the calls to action of the 94 calls to action, and I think we need to be able to do that, and Ontario can do better. And again, it's slow, but it's moving forward. It's changing the trajectory of the thinking of the people in Ontario on what Indian residential schools are all about and what it did to people, and the impacts of First Nations people, and the path to reconciliation. We should be on this road together. It's a slow walk, but it's a much needed walk together.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this bill. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're planning to introduce it this November. We have reached out to the Premier's office as well as the Minister for Indigenous Affairs for comment specifically on this bill that you want to introduce. Have not heard back yet, but how do you anticipate this going over? Do you think it will be received well by other MPPs?
I'm tabling it on November the 7th and or the 8th, around there, and then I'm going to be speaking on it on November the 28th, and I'm going to do it all in my language. Again, I'll be doing that on the 28th in my language. Minister of Indigenous Affairs reached out to me yesterday, and it sounds like that we have the soft support, but I'm looking for the full support, and I think that's the work that we need to do, and hopefully, we have time to pass it through the readings, the different processes, whether it's the first reading, the second reading, and but also eventually to the third reading, where it becomes law in Ontario, and where we, again, that's the work that I need to do, and I'll be working with the Indigenous Indian residential school survivors as well, and also the First Nation groups and other entities, organizations that are willing to support this bill.
Okay, MPP Sol Mamakwa joining us live. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to speak with us. Really appreciate it.
Okay, Miigwech, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.